Good evening, cruisers. This is Rick Way, the Texas Cruiser. We've had a little bit of a mess happen today here in Galveston. A tugboat had a barge tow, a couple of barges, but one of them broke loose from the tow and went into the Pelican Island bridge and damaged the railroad portion, the railroad tracks, knocked some of that down. They had to close the whole bridge. That Pelican Island bridge is the only bridge access, road access from Pelican Island to the mainland, actually to Galveston Island, then to the mainland from there. Many of you cruisers come in, you drive through the traffic light up high and over, kind of like a little overpass, and to the left, there's a road goes off to the left, and the right, you keep going straight down Harborside. You can see the cruise ships from up there. But that traffic light, you turn left there, that's the Pelican Island Bridge. That's how you get to Texas A&M University at Galveston. There's some industrial companies down there. The shipyard down there where the battleship Texas is getting overhauled is down that way. And on the far end of that is the Seawolf Park. A nice park there. We got the little, Seawolf submarine and the destroyer in there, and some people want to try to put the battleship Texas back up in there, but Texas is going to go over about Pier 2120 over that area, closer to Terminal 1 or Terminal 25 cruise terminal. But it's right there in front of Harbor House, and a lot of you cruisers stay at the Harbor House there when you come into town to go for a cruise. So, anyway, the roadway was closed for a little while. The bridge was, the entire bridge, but eventually, later on in the evening, they were able to allow some vehicle traffic to come across, not all at one time, but a few cars at a time. Try to keep as much load off the bridge as possible till they get it fully surveyed by engineers, make sure, but they felt it was safe enough to allow a few cars come across at a time. The barge was actually contained called vacuum gas oil, and it's part of the process in the refineries to make gasoline. It's more of towards the heavier end of the product, and it makes a mess, but the health concerns for people is not as severe as it would be for some of the aromatics that we have in this area. And you don't want to rub it all over yourself or anything like that. You will get a little bit of irritation from that, and you don't want to breathe in too much of it. Some concerns over the wildlife is to be understood, but the barge is not a large barge, but not all of it leaked out, but some did leak out. And they have spill booms all around the area on that part of the island to help contain the product, and it will get cleaned up pretty quick. But it is on the west end of the port, so it's not near the cruise terminals, not going to affect the cruise ships, cruise terminals whatsoever. It's far enough away from all that. And I know that they'll get it all taken care of. That bridge was actually slated to be replaced with a new, they've gone through like 3 or 4 different configurations what they're looking for, but there's going to be a new bridge probably going in around it, and there's a lot of discussions on how they want it to be aligned, but that's coming soon. The Royal Caribbean is going to start coming out Baltimore again. They got the Vision of the Seas, which had sailed out there before the bridge collapse, was now going to be coming back in there. They have given them the okay to come back. I guess they have a navigable way to get in and out of Baltimore, of course. May 25th will be the first cruise. I think it's a 5-day cruise to the Bahamas and back. That's good news for those folks down there. I'm glad to see them get that taken care of. Carnival, hang on a second, there we go. They finally completed that fleet-wide rollout of that SpaceX satellite link Wi-Fi system. Starlink, I'm trying to say, SpaceX Starlink system to provide internet service to ships out in the oceans and seaways. That's all the ships now have the SpaceLink system now. Good for those folks. I know there's a lot of people complain about it. What do we do back 20, 30, 40 years ago, like when I cruised, we didn't have any concern about the internet, but then again, we didn't have much of internet to speak of to begin with. Anyway, speaking of going back 30 years or so, my first cruise ship, the Song of America, I just saw today reported in Cruise Industry News. It's just recently it was named the Celestial Olympia. It was sailing the Greek Isles. Then I heard that they retired them. The Celestial decided to retire the ship. Well, I just found out. I thought it was going to the scrapyard. I really did. I was kind of sad about that. My first cruise ship, Song of America by Royal Caribbean, 1988. It built in 1982. And it's like a 1,462 passenger ship. But it's left the Med and it's going out to the Middle East. Heard it's going to a port near the it's hard to say the name. The name of the new ship now is called the Bella Fortuna, and it's going over to by Dubai, one of the little ports over by Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah. I'm sorry. I'd like to apologize to those folks. I've just totally mispronounced the name. It's actually part of the United Arab Emirates, which is near Dubai, of course. Don't know who bought it. They do have a new name for it, and they don't know what purpose they're going to have for it. But it's interesting to see that this ship that I sailed originally, the first one I sailed on, I was a newbie at one time, that it is the Fortuna. It's over there, still floating, still kicking. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's kind of interesting. So anyway, folks, that's all I have today. I will keep posted on the Pelican Island bridge, how that goes. If anything of newsworthy, I'll broadcast that. But thank God, no loss of life, no injuries involved in it. I believe a couple of guys on the barge did fall off, but they crawled back off and dried off a little bit, and so I'm thanking God for that. But anyway, folks, you have a wonderful week. There's a weekend coming up. Y'all be safe. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, I'll come out with these news items whenever I come across them. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to meet you on a future cruise. Good night.